Welcome back, everyone, to Hearts of Iron 4 in Dixie. Prepare for a lot of terrible southern accent from Woodstock in this video, because in this video we're taking a look at Southern Victory. That's probably not how people from the South of the United States of America sound, but it's okay because it's not the United States of America anymore. So, this is like, okay, so Southern Victory is a mod that was just released on the workshop yesterday as of the recording of this video, which is on Sunday. I think I'm gonna upload it today, but if I don't, if for some reason I don't, you know, it was released last week because, come on. Oh, that's cool. I had actually not even noticed that this was a thing. Anyway. It's, so first of all, actually, I should, I need to apologize to the mod developers, actually, because I was contacted by one of them before, well, last week, who offered me a sort of preview build, and I was like, okay, that sounds like a great idea, but essentially the timings did not really match up, and by the time the preview build was in any way, like, ready, I was just in a, well, let's just say in a couple of interesting days, and I just did not have time to take a look at it before the release date. So I need to apologize. First and foremost, they were very nice to me, but I could not get the video before the release out. So anyway, what's going on is that this mod is based upon a, well, we should say like the sort of godfather of all this alternate history nonsense that's been going on. If Kaiserreich is the godfather of Hearts of Iron alternate history, like, no, the forefather more than godfather, then Southern Victory is like a forefather to most, like, alternate history as entertainment, because it's from the series of novels by this person called Harry Turtledove that is, as far as I know, like the first like majorly popular work of alternate history. That's not like set into the future, dystopian, or anything like that, just like supposed to be about the past. And it's, of course, as you can see, a world where the Confederate States of America won the, you know, War of Northern Aggression, as I suppose it would be called in the Confederate States in this timeline, the first Civil War. Now, there's this like massive universe that's developed around the New World in this timeline. There's been like, I don't know how many books, like I think 2 trilogies, maybe 1 trilogy or 2 trilogies. I've not read them. So, my knowledge of the lore behind this is very limited. But essentially, the gist of it is, okay, so the CSA wins the first Civil War. And that leads to the permanent separation of CSA and United States of America. This, however, sort of course, sends history off the rails, and the United States sort of in a second war. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly what happens in the second war between the CSA and the United States, but essentially, you know, sort of everything kind of stays the same. Maybe a slight Union victory or slight Confederate victory, but nothing really too major goes on. In the meantime, the CSA takes over Cuba and a bunch of other like random places, and then the French do their thing in Mexico, and actually win. Like there was in real life a French invasion of Mexico in like the 1860s. It was one of those things in history where it's like, what the fuck. And they tried to put a Habsburg on the throne. In this timeline, they survive, and then the Mexican Empire falls into the sort of sphere of influence of the Confederacy. And then what happens is the United States of America, being really pissed at all that was going on, joins the Central Powers with Germany and Austria-Hungary. And also, I think Italy joins that. Italy is still part of it and doesn't betray the Central Powers, and it's called the Quadruple Alliance. And so the next war between the Quadruple Alliance of USA, Germany, Austria-Hungary, Italy beats the Entente, that's Russia, France, and United Kingdom, and CSA. So the Great War in this timeline leads to the essential almost destruction of the CSA and its reduction. Essentially, the CSA gets Germanied. And there's this treaty called the Treaty of Trenton, which is basically Versailles. And the Confederacy is crippled, and the result, as you can see, is Confederate Fascism. What? I mean, when you thought that fascism couldn't get any worse, Confederate Fascism. Now, this track is pretty good for what's going on. Now, I'm not sure on this timeline's version of slavery, but I think that, like, basically at least serfdom, if not like full slavery, is still around in the CSA. What the fuck, the Confederate Caesar. Nice. Yeah, like, I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, slavery is around still. Or if not in, like, full slavery, at the very, very least, very, very, like, Jim Crow-y. Like, very, 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 very much apartheid levels of segregation. In fact, what happens almost straight after the 1933 elections, I believe? Yeah, 1933 presidential elections in the CSA, where Jake Featherston, who is Confederate Hitler, essentially, takes over. What happens is that there is almost immediately a black rebellion. And, yeah, limit the freedoms of okay, so apparently slavery did get abolished at some point, but, yeah, you know, it's not exactly the land of racial equality or whatever, and there's a rebellion going on essentially in the sort of more African-y populated states like South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, and like in the Appalachian Mountains, yeah, against essentially the fascist rule. The United States, in the meanwhile, is dealing with the legacy of the Great Depression. It's got the American Empire, because in the Great War they destroyed, you know, Britain and the North America area, so they took over Canada, except for the parts that they gave over to Quebec, which is now free, and then American Puppet, I believe, yeah, American Puppet. Yeah. So that's basically the Prussian parody. Military reforms of the late 19th century turned the U.S. into a militaristic power that could hold the weight against any of the great powers of the world, achieving for the U.S. the new internationally used nickname, the New Prussia. It served well in the Great War. After the war, however, the U.S. military was undermined by socialist budget cuts and austerity measures. Oh yeah, right, there's no October Revolution. The Russian Empire is still around. And as far as I can see, there's no, like, socialist power. So there has been literally no socialist revolution. But in America, the Socialist Party of America, the SPA, did win an election and essentially tried to, well, sort of fix a lot of the problems in the United States. Although it caused also a lot of problems in return, like, you know, anti-militarism and all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, the legacy of the Great War and all that. So the United States is dealing with some of the same things that the UK has to deal with in normal HOI4 timeline. And that's exactly what you'd expect. Of course, the CSA is kind of the Nazi Germany. They've got, you know, they've got a lot of problems to deal with, but they've got a lot of ridiculous buffs to sort of represent how, you know, fascism is fascist. And yeah, that's about it for the premise. Now, taking a look very, very quickly at the rest of the world, no one has any focus trees, unfortunately. Only the nations in the New World, the main ones, not in South America, in North America. The nations in North America, from Mexico onward, have unique focus trees. Does Quebec have one? Probably not, no. So yeah, that's a big sort of downside, but obviously this is a very early build, and they're working on everything else. But there are events for pretty much every country, and obviously the world is sort of fully fleshed out already. Now, United Kingdom did survive the Great War, but very, very much sort of defeated, and the British Empire as a whole is, as you can see, kind of not doing too well. They've been kicked out of the New World almost entirely. Even Africa, you know, Deutsch Mittelafrika, of course. Yeah, they've still got South Africa and India, but and obviously Australia and Singapore, which is never a bad thing. But yeah, other than that, they're not doing too fine because they've been kicked out of Europe almost entirely. No more Belgium, as you can see. General government of Belgium. And that has led to the sort of rise of Mosley and the British Union of Fascist, or whatever this is called in this timeline, because there's no actual fascism. It's ultra-nationalists or whatever. Ireland is free and fully united under, apparently, Oscar Wilde, which is super blessed, but, you know, they're... it's better if we just leave them to their own devices, just having a good life in the countryside of Ireland and in Dublin. And France itself obviously also got very, very much gutted, and now they are under the Action Française, ultranationaliste, they are revanchistes, which I believe is the true name of fascism. Revanchism, I don't know, but yeah, essentially the fascists in the world are the Confederates, the Kingdom of France, and possibly the United Kingdom, and maybe Russia. Well, they do have the RVS, but no, definitely not Germany. Germany is pretty stable in its sort of Prussian constitutional system. Austria-Hungary has, obviously, you know, like, even though they won the Great War, Austria-Hungary is still, like, crippled, essentially, by the whole affair, as is Russia. But Russia sort of, you know, Russia's Russia. You never... Interesting. You're never really too, yeah, like, Russia's a little bit more stable than Austria-Hungary, at the very least. And, so the rest of Europe has their own thing. Wait, what the fuck? Serbia, Montenegro, Carlo Albert Habsburgo Lorensky. Very interesting. Italy's a democracy. So Italy just kind of stayed in its old form. Like, in its old pre-1914 form of sort of democratic. They could be under what would be called in Italy either sort of progressive left or sinistra storica, which is let's not get into Italian politics pre-fascism. Essentially just kind of continuing the sort of liberal path of a person called Giovanni Giolitti, but let's not get into it. Yeah. Spain and Portugal are doing their own thing. Obviously, no Saudi Arabia, apparently, because I guess, yeah, the Ottoman Empire is still around, so, yeah. Interesting. And, of course, big Afghanistan. Shout out to my boys, the great, brave Mujahideen fighters of Afghanistan, as always being great. And, obviously, China, old son. Apparently, Sun Yat-sen did manage the Northern Expedition this time, although they haven't taken over... Oh, no, they have taken over Beijing, but... What is that flag? Oh, I want to put a bullet in my own head. Apparently, they're under this person called Huang Kai-wen. I do not know this guy. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Zhang Zongchang. Okay, KMT Zhang Zongchang is the most blessed thing I've seen today. Obviously, the Great East Asian Empire of Japan is still around, but they are under the Minseito, the liberals. So they had sort of no weird, or maybe they did have the weird military civilian conflict, and you know, all the insane coups and counter coups of the 30s, you know, the 226 incident and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't look like the civilian government has been overthrown quite yet, and they're still quote-unquote liberal. Of course, they're overextended. I'm not sure if the Japanese fought on any side of the Great War, though considering the fact that they own Indochina, probably they fought against the French, and they took over the East Indies too from the Dutch, so yeah, they're doing fine. And apparently the Philippines from America. Epic. And wow! Okay, so the Americans still have Hawaii, but damn, the Japanese have a lot of epic islands. So despite the fact that Germany should own these, right? Ah. How did you gain these from Germany exactly? Because a lot of these islands used to be German. I don't know. Looks like the South Pacific is mostly split between the UK and Japan, and Germany only has parts of New Guinea left. Okay, sure. Ah, Wilhelm, you are such a fucking boring man. Switzerland is still its own thing. Yeah, is anything weird going on in Scandinavia? No, that's basically the gist of the world. And again, really, except for a few events which I suppose are supposed to be driving forward the plot of the Second Great War, which is obviously also going to be driven forward by the American Confederate showdown in the New World, there isn't really much that's going on. Like, other than Epic China, let's actually see how the other Chinese warlords. We have, of course, Li Congzhen in Guangxi. I mean, I'm sorry if you don't care about China at all, but this is like my thing, so whatever. Hu Hanmin, actually, pretty important KMT person in Canton. I would not really call this a clique, because Hu Hanmin was definitely not a... definitely not a military man. He was a KMT party guy. Also, progressive, he'd be better as a liberal. Hu Hanmin was definitely not part of the left KMT. Although, to be fair, if Sun Yat-sen sort of is still around and driving, you know, driving the plot forward for the KMT, maybe more figures would convert to his sort of leftism. I don't know. Sort of almost leftism. Yunnan is under Long Yun, so that's historical. Yangtze, Sichuan, For northern Sichuan, that's historical, but whatever. Ma Bufang is the Ma clique. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. Why is there a Nazgul flag with... This is a Chinese character. It's not written entirely correctly, but it's Ma. It's literally just like, you know, this word, Ma. Feng Yuxiang in real life was not a Ma, nor was he part of the Ma clique. Although Ningxia, this province was controlled by the Ma clique, so I don't know, some weird shit. Xinjiang is under Yang Zhengxin, who you may know from Kaiserreich China rework. Of course, there's an East Turkestan Republic, Tibet, and Yan Xishan, our eternal overlord, is still doing his thing. And I suppose, since there was no Russian Revolution to fuck over the Bukhan with Sternberg sort of crossing over, trying to, you know, make him into a puppet emperor of the new great Mongolian Khanate, and then getting invaded by the Red Army and overthrown, and then causing the Mongolian nationalist revolution, and then causing the invasion of the northern Chinese warlords into Mongolia, and then again the Red Army, and you know, all the crazy shit that went on in Mongolia from 1917 all the way to the 1940s, essentially. I guess the Great Mongolian State, I suppose it was, as it was known, the Mongolian Khanate is still around. So, all that's left is to look at the actual focus trees that are in there. Now, these focus trees, you'll see, I'm not sure if you'll spot the same sort of streak as I do, but they have a very, very distinctive regular Hearts of Iron 4 flavor, which is interesting. I'm not used to it. It's not like insane like Red Flood. It's not like storytelling like TNO, or it's not even like the Kaiserreich sort of focus tree where you have like a shitload of political paths. In these, you just have a few political paths with like very, very, very well defined, like you can do this, but it's gonna turn you off from doing that, you know, mutually exclusive paths. But it does not turn me off. It's actually kind of okay. It's sort of self-contained. So there's Mexico, obviously. There's always like a military and economic branch that's somewhere. Then Mexico is all about essentially like being revanchist, as as you can see, they're kind of gutted right now. It's all about being revanchist and either fucking off the Confederates and sort of restoring the Mexican Empire, or expanding southward and going all the way to Panama. Nice. There's of course in the meantime problems of course with the United States, the Confederacy, and even France. Where the fuck is it? There was a problem with France somewhere, but yeah, dealing with the French occupation, but that's actually in the political tree. Political tree, they've got two courses, either the down with the monarchy, so that's going to be destroying the Mexican Empire, and replacing it with a revolution that's going to be... then you have to sort of choose which of the revolutionaries are going to come out on top, either the conservatives, the liberals, or the epic communists. So Zapatista Mexico, or liberal Mexico, or conservative Mexico, which I suppose the conservative Mexico is the one that's sort of more closely aligned with real-life Mexico, but real-life Mexico was an insane thing, and it's complex as fuck. And they had, for the longest time, this thing called the PRI, the Partito Revolucionario Institucionalista, the Institutional Revolutionary Party, which was, you could say, politically authoritarian while socially sort of liberal, depending on the time, and economically sort of interventionist. So it was this weird sort of mix of almost every, like, democratic, political orientation. It was fucking weird. Even though Mexico was technically a democracy for, like, most of that time, except for a brief stint of something called the Majimato, which was the dictatorship. It was weird as fuck. Mexico is a democracy, like, from the Mexican Revolution, technically a democracy, from the Mexican Revolution all the way to today. Sort of. I might be getting some bits of history wrong, because I'm not that versed in Mexican history, but then all that time they were actually ruled by this PRI party. So nothing in here really comes close to that. But they do also have the steady course, which keeps the empire. Sort of. Either they're supporting the landowners, which is going to be staying with the sort of aristocratic status quo, or the weak emperor, which is going to lead to Mexican fascism. Now, I'm going to tag over to Mexico so I can read the focus descriptions. There's a weird thing with the Mexican fascism because epic Mexican warlordism. Then you approach the Magonistas, which is a socialist military group led by Carol Apris Price, a gringo from Wales based in Baja California. Staunch opponents of the Mexican Empire may be able to swing them to our side, giving us an air of legitimacy with the Mexican people. Then the Felicitas and a bunch of other people, led by Felix Diaz. rig the elections, and set fire to the Imperial Palace. Nice. Nice. Stage revolution, so... You do a bunch of weird shit. Declare the national emergency. Turn the military on the Emperor. And you gain leprosy. And the Sicilia, the sort of leader of the ultra-nationalists, Gustavo Sicilia, is declared as the supreme leader, raising him to a position superior to that of even Emperor. Maximilian III will be subordinate to the supreme leader from now on. So that's Mexico, and then you do the Knight of the Sharp Bayonets, of course. So that your little Nazbol sort of thing is over if you dissolve the parliament, but if you do the Magonista parliament, you know, you still have some Nazbol in there, so epic Nazbol, and then you go and kill everyone. That's, you know, of course, if you've gotten fascism, you can go and kill everyone. If not, you still get to deal with France and a bunch of stuff. Yeah, and you're basically the Confederacy's bitch. Now, the Confederacy itself... Oh, god damn it. See, yeah. Okay. The Confederacy itself also has a lot of fun paths. Now, you might be, yeah, you might be like, oh my god, they just have the Freedom Party. the fascist party is actually called the Freedom Party. Their coalition with the Redemption League, which I suppose is like a super religious thing. They've got the Klan. Well, not sure about the Klan, but like Examiner, Richmond Examiner Knight, a person called Knight. It's very Klan-y, kind of. Yeah, it's very Klan-y, kind of. Yeah, this is like the fascist. They've even got the Richmond Olympics, like the Berlin Olympics. So they've got the sort of fasci route, which is this tree. So you have a power struggle. You either have the sort of, again, I'm calling them the Klan, even though they're not the Klan because they look like the Klan, or the heir apparent, who is König, who is that then leads into the Confederate Triumvirate, was sort of like the, yeah, like with the military, sort of more oligarchic, sort of corporatist kind of stuff, reassuring the financiers, you know, more for the elites. While the reign of Featherston is just, you keep Featherston, so you keep Confederate Hitler and, you know, purge the army, cult of personality. Prepare to repeal the 7 words. I don't even know what the 7 words are. If the people want more 6 years of Featherston, then we will make sure that they have 6 more years. I don't fucking know. And then you go kill Huey Long. Which is sad, because Huey Long, apparently, can become the president of the CSA. Confederalize the share of wealth society. Every man a king. Nice. Nice. So Longism is progressive in this one. Obviously, considering that, you know, the Confederacy is so far right, obviously something like the Confederacy is a little bit more, or sorry, not something like the Confederacy, something like the, you know, share our wealth is supposed to be a little bit more Confederate, or progressive, sort of socialist-y. Encourage membership. So yeah, Huey Long is epic. You know that already, do you? You know that Huey Long is epic. And if the alternative is Confederate Hitler, then I'm gonna take Huey Long, okay? God damn it. Every man a king, okay? Then there's another path that leads to an army coup, and General Jeb... I suppose it's G.E.B. Stewart Jr., but the fact that the fact that his initial names are spelled out as Jeb In my headcanon, he is Jeb Bush coming back from the future to take over the entire, North American continent and creating the Jeb state, Technate. So yeah, he goes in and kills everyone. Replace Black Guerrilla Rebellion with racial segregation. Oh, I love how they just like casually drop Negro, because I suppose these Confederates don't care about your feelings. They're just like anti-PC. Huh. Also, where the fuck have all the like scroll wheels gone? Okay, so yeah, they go ahead and kill the fascists. Kaiser or Cincinnatus, so you go ahead and try to, quote-unquote, restore democracy. I suppose if you restore democracy, you have the constitutional restoration. And from there, you either have the aristocratic Whigs, which are... The Whigs are the liberals before, the American party system fully developed. They were... The American parties were sort of modeled on the British ones, the Whigs and the Tories, and so the Whigs are the liberals, who then become the Republicans, and the, I suppose America never really had Tories. They had the Democratic Republicans, then became the Republicans. They were also called the Whigs. They had the Federalists. Weird shit. They had a bunch of weird shit. And so you have the aristocratic Whigs, the liberal Whigs, the liberals, or radical liberals, and the radicals. So the leftists. Nice. And leftists actually put Cuba to rest. If the leftists don't win, I suppose... Red Scare. I suppose Cuba, down here, has a bit of a rebellion. They've got... Revolutionary Cuba has Cuba as a core state. I suppose Cuba's gonna spawn as collectivist, they're known. But of course, collectivist is not only popular in Cuba, they're also popular in the goddamn CSA. You see, these black guerrillas are communists. Epic United New Africa People's Liberation Army is gonna rise up, okay? And yeah, that's. I think what's supposed to happen is that when you're at war, or maybe when you... Okay, no, actually, I'm looking at the trigger right about now. And the trigger is that communism has more than 30% popularity. And obviously the Black Guerrilla Rebellion gives more collectivist support. And I suppose, like, maybe some of the things that you might be doing over here might increase the... Yeah, it's gonna increase, like, daily collectivism support, which is gonna make the rebellion actually happen faster. Revoke black citizenship. What the fuck? Interesting. Oh, so after the Great War, black soldiers, many of whom had been Reds just months before, were given full citizenship by treacherous Whig government. We must strip these traitors of their citizenship to rectify this grievous... Oh, so that's what happened. Okay, I see. That's what happened. So, obviously this is really... Like, if the communism goes over 30%, the event that happens is this one. NAF1T. Fucking kill yourself. What are you even talking about? Oh, no, not... Sorry, I was... There we go. A revolt in the Deep South. The African people shall be free at last. Death to the Confederates. So you spawn in South Carolina. Lovely. You're New Africa. Your leader is Spartacus. Epic. And they've got this epic focus tree where they can dab on the Confederates, essentially. They've got a war tree. Eventually they make peace. And once they make peace, the worst is over. And they're independent. And either they are sort of moderate, quote unquote, and they have the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Color People, and you know, they do, like, you know, I suppose normal things. Or they decide that, you know, the Confederacy and freedom are not compatible, and either Spartacus can continue being the leader, or, you know, you establish a new government, and you just stay collectivist. This path is, I believe, progressive, because the NAACP is... No, it's socialist, not progressive. And I love how everyone have, like, revolutionary names. This is epic, because it kind of reminds me of, like, the Haitian Revolution or the French Revolution. So yeah, this guy's Spartacus, with a K, of course. Then the leader of the NAACP is Constantine. Then you have Marcellus as the leader of the Socdems. Octavius is the liberal. Augustus is the conservative. Marcus is the new African authoritarian. And the Revanchist Party is Julius. Kind of like Julius Caesar, I suppose. This is so good. Like, this is nice. I love the flavor in this. Although I suppose this is from the books. Yeah, this is really nice. And at the end, if you do the only route that's... Come on, like, the only route that's allowed is revanchism, of course. A country for black. And you stay communist, of course. You get to abolish racism. The Liberation of Africa decision. Create the faction African Resistance. You gain claim on Haiti, on northern Haiti. Like, could this be any better? Like, if I was gonna play this at any point, this is definitely the thing I would do. Like, this is so good. This is just so blessed. Like, just go ahead and kill the white man. Raise your hand if you hate whites. We're gonna send the Red Guard to kill all the whites. The views represent... In case any federal officers watch this video, the views represented are 100% my own, and I wish to be included in any blacklist that you want to dream up. So to conclude this, let's take a look at the United States of America, who do not have Alaska, but they've got Canada. I believe they don't have... Yeah, they're occupied states, so they have to deal with essentially the Canadian... the Canadian insurgency. Although the compliance is very, very high, because I think in the lore of Southern Victory, what's going on at this point is that there's been a Canadian insurgency all the way from the Great War to now, but it's sort of dying down because the Americans are sort of doing okay. And yeah, so America, actually, the problem is for America that I think they've got elections. It's, of course, the 1936 presidential... It's always the 1936 presidential elections, god damn it. Let me see if I can find the 1936 presidential elections as an event. I probably should have been preparing for this, actually. Oh, apparently they've got a coup. Okay, hold on. Oh, wow, oh, holy shit. They've got a lot of presidents. Okay, please bear with me for 1 second. As I go to the top, because I'm seeing a lot of events for inaugurations of certain... presidents. Okay, there we go. Okay, so they've got USA Select as a ID. So we go fucking kill yourself. USA Select 6, so you do the Hoover, changes the national focus tree to Hoover 2. Oh, goddammit. Oh no, there we go. And so we shall receive. So in a stunning upset, President Hoover has managed to win re-election. Okay, the Great Neutral. Compromise on Trenton. So I suppose that's trying to make the CSA sort of not killing you mood. Ooh, you get to promote things, which I suppose goes into the elections stuff. And then, of course, you have, red policies are supported by the socialist parties. Increase immigration! Yeah! Liberalized trade, supported by the Democrats and the Republicans. All right, I see. Then USA Select 7 is the inauguration of Al Smith. So, socialist moderates. So these are the progressives, right? Yes. Oh, wow, that's a positively handsome fella. And the Smith administration. Restore Utah statehood. This is pretty important. We'll see why later. Right now, it's actually the Utah territory. It's occupied. It's an occupied territory. It's not a U.S. state. So imagine like a black hole over here in the U.S. sort of federal organization. We'll see why that's important a bit later. You relax Trenton and attempt conciliation and, appeasement. Oh my god, appeasement. Oh no, no. No. Well, we need a firmer hand. Let's see if we can find it in the event 8. Inauguration of Norman Thomas, who in real life was a pretty cool person. Radical socialist. And let's see how he does. See how Norman Thomas is. So, of course, here he is. He's a bit older than I'm used to seeing him. I believe in Kaiserreich, you see him in the CSA as a Radsock. Canadian Home Rule. Oh, okay. So do you like... I wonder if that releases them. Yeah, and the Utah Home Rule, of course. You end the draft. Okay. Interesting. Let's see what happens if we go even further. 9. Floyd Olson. Huh. So he's a socialist moderate, but he is he has a cooler stance, and many believe him to be influenced by hardline Secretary of State John Reed. Ah, yes, this is getting good. So as you can see, the politics of the United States are a lot more leftist in this timeline than they are IRL. That's because the Great War was a lot more damaging to the United States than it was in real life. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. Oh! So Reed can actually become the president? No, wait, the VP. Who's gonna be his VP? A United Party. Nice. So who's actually the VP of Olson? I don't know. First, we need to check out number 10. Henry Wallace, who is this person from California or not California, from the Pacific States in Kaiserreich, right? It's ironic how Kaiserreich has taught me more about like 1930s American politics or political figures than like real life history, because FDR was just like so hegemonic. Anyway, he's got some corn and roses, of course. So he's agrarian, apparently. Well, kind of agrarian. Let's see about 11. Oh, Democratic National Convention. Okay. See, I had seen something else earlier. Let's see if I can find it again. Taft, 17. Oh, because there's a bunch of, like, weird... Oh, this is like in 1940. In 1940, there's more elections. Okay, I see. Okay, and there's a very, very epic choice that I'm gonna show you right now. Now, what do you mean has government fascism? Apparently you can be fascist. What the fuck? But there's a very, very epic choice in 1940. Oh. Fucking hell. USA Select .18. So this is the 1940 elections. Earl Browder. So you can be communist too. Yeah, the Browder administration. Holy shit! Oh, you get the that's probably how you can be fascist. So if I guess there's a way you can do the business plot and you know, be completely fascist, or you can do the New America and Browderism. Okay, I see what's going on. Communism is 20th century Americanism. Okay. So yeah, you can do that too. Let's see what happens if Olson dies. So Olson dies. Oh, what? Oh, because you can have two different VPs. I see. So you either get Al Smith or Flora Blackford. Haha. Or Henry Wallace. So you can either have Henry Wallace, Flora Blackford, or Al Smith. Okay. No, Al Smith is... I'm sorry. What the fuck is going on? I have no idea. So that's basically the United States. Ignore, you know, communism. See, there's a reason why Utah is a problem. That's because the last country that has a focus tree has to deal with Utah. Yes, it's the fucking Mormons, because, you know, in the lore, the USA supports the Black Rebellion in the South. And in return, the CSA returns the favor by sponsoring the Mormons. And there's some weird shit as to why the Mormons are still, like, this important and can, like, try to fight for their own state or whatever. So the child, the weird child abuser, like, you know, polygamy people who think that... What is even, like, the Mormons' shtick? Like, is their leader... I don't remember his name. Like, their prophet guy... I don't remember. Do they think that he's, like, gets visions from God or Jesus? Or is he, like, a Taiping kind of thing, like the brother of... I think he just gets visions from Jesus or something. So you get the Deseret Rebellion if the Confederates support them, or, well, actually, I'm not sure. If... What is the trigger? Meantime to happen, days 100, trigger, USA, own state, 380, so I'm guessing Utah has war. Oh, so if you have a war in 100 days, you're gonna get the Deseret Uprising. The Deseret starts with a lot of guys, actually, just like, I wonder what New Africa's tag is. So New Africa starts with, oh wow, they start with 29 legions! African guerrilla army. This is so great. The Deseret tag is Des. Tag over to Des. We see that Des starts with 16 divisions, some of them actually motorized, damn. So they're apparently very, very well organized, and they've got a formidable defensive terrain. Utah is ridiculous. It's all mountains, some deserts, but you can just abandon the deserts. So they're actually, funnily enough, they're stronger than they look. And they've got a focus tree as well, which is pretty simple, but honestly kind of good. Like, they've got their own war stuff. Then you become the owner of Nevada and Carson if you take it over. And then I suppose then you also get you get puppeted by the Confederate states, of course. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this then like makes you at peace. I don't know. There's supposed to be some peace. Then there's two paths: either the strengthening our legitimacy, which sort of stays loyal to the Confederates and sort of creates this sort of greater Mormon, greater Deseret thing, with a bunch of claims on a bunch of places I don't know about because they're American, like Idaho. Like I know only Idaho because the political advisor Jim Jones, is it that one? He was 5. No, okay. He was 5 in 1946. Okay. I just quickly looked it up. It's just a random... It's a randomly generated name, right? Yeah, they're a randomly generated name. Names... yeah, Northwest New Mexico, which is too big to fit as a name. So you kind of do this thing-ish, which is super cringe. Or you can be a Chad and stab the CSA in the back, because they can go kill themselves. And then you are a bulwark against the CSA, you fight the Confederates. What's even great is that from being the Confederate puppet, child rapist, polygamy people who hate women probably, and I don't remember. They've got the like the magical underwear stuff. The Mormons are not okay people. Please kill them all on sight. Just shoot them on sight. Funnily enough, there's Mormons that like appear in Italy too, and they try to convert people. And they're all American because they're very obviously American. Like you can spot an American from a mile away in Europe. Well, maybe not in Europe, but in Italy, definitely. Anyway, there's the Encourage Black Uprising in the end, which is super epic. Because you go from, like, total, you know, Confederate puppet to encouraging the Black Uprising. You know, like... That's the thing with a lot of, like, crazy religious people. Sometimes they're super racist, but sometimes, funnily enough, they, like... read their scripture and come to the weird conclusion that when it talks about like every man is equal before God or whatever, that means that like racism is not the greatest idea. And so they funnily enough just like go full switcheroo and support the communists, which is epic. So they can cause, I suppose, the I suppose they can cause the epic new African uprising. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Yeah. So that's about it for Southern Victory. There's obviously a little bit more hidden beneath that's waiting to be discovered. But, you know, that's all for yourself. I'm gonna post everything as links in the description and all that. So yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.